Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thankful Thursday. We are going to have some cards today. We are going to have some talk today, too. I think we really need to cover some things and what's going to be happening in the world right now. So, cards and coffee and some chat. I've been hearing a lot of chatter between Telegram, YouTube, and some other things. And the chatter is about the Carrington event. And I know that there is going to be a solar flash event, and we have up and coming the third solar eclipse, which is the Trinity. That's a divine. They've been seeing black halos, black rainbows in the sky. They're taking pictures. I watch a gentleman that gets pictures from people all over the United States and all over the world. And in the coming comet, the Carrington event happened September 1st of 1859. Um, I asked a lot of questions when I was doing the shuffle today, and I started writing. I was getting channeled messages and a lot of numbers. Uh, they're saying that this solar eclipse, this third solar eclipse, is April 8th of 2024. That would be a 20, it would go to a 2. In this reading today, we got 7 2s. We got uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5s. One in the very beginning, which is the date, and one at the very end, last card. So the answers came to me, and like I said, I was writing them down. The Carrington event was like a solar flash, and it was like aurora borealis in the skies, like beautiful skies and unusual. And then there was also solar flares from the sun that were causing like fires and stuff, and telegraphs and communications to be zapped out. Um, that would be a perfect time for them to switch us to the Starlink. So there's a lot of things happening. Also, one of my predictions a while back, it was 3 years ago, I said to my husband, they're going to have water powered cars. We're going to go away from gasoline because if you think about it, gasoline is the big business. That's the big guys, that's the bad guys. Everything's in their pockets. So they are coming out. Japan was given the okay by their government, and they are coming out with a water powered car, and it's Toyota. Toyota is one of the best. I mean, my my father always had Toyota, and they lasted forever. So Toyota is a very good vehicle. Water powered, could you imagine? Seriously, people. There's some other things that I want to go over. When we go through this flash, me and my husband already a couple years ago experienced a small one, and it made us feel like nauseous, made him feel like he went on a ride that spun, and I felt just like funky. We even went inside because we were sitting out on the porch when it happened, and I said, did you see that? He said, yeah. I said, oh my God, I don't feel good. So, but this is going to be like 30 times that. Everybody's going to feel it. It's going to be this massive flash, and it could cause 3 days of darkness. Awaken from the dream spell. I've also heard that, when I do a protection bubble, I do a bubble around me and my home and my family and my fur babies and my family up there and anybody I love, and I do a universal bubble to protect people. So I'm trying to do all kinds of protection things, and what they're saying is that we are going to be put in this universal like bubble and healed. And as we do that, our earth is healed, like immaculate, like beautiful, like Garden of Eden type thing. Now I'm hearing all kinds of different things, so I don't know, at this point we really don't know what's true and what's false. But I have seen, I know we're going to go to Tesla Energy. Um, I've heard that, I've felt that. The big electric companies and the water companies, our water is going to be purified. Uh, it was really interesting that I heard not too long ago, DeSantis saying they've been working on the natural springs to bring them back. And what polluted them was the paper mill. They had a paper mill here, and when the paper mill came in, it polluted a lot of the beautiful springs that we had, and it went right into the ocean. So the paper mill went out during the COVID, and the sawmill went out during the, you know what. And I was hoping they went to Europe, a bunch of men trying to get somebody to buy it because it put a lot of people out of business. That's what they do around here. We're like the pine tree capital of Florida. And you see these trucks just loaded with pine trees, and they just take, we watched them cut the pine trees beside our house. It was amazing what they did, but it was so sad. I mean, there went all the birds. But we're kind of glad it happened because then we had the hurricane, and we just said we couldn't even imagine those pine trees over there. We would have been wiped out because when pine trees fall, man, they really fall. But anyway, and then they replanted them. So they went through, it was crazy. It was like April Fool's Day they started, and within, I would say, 5 days, everything was down. It was gone. And it's actually sad. But we're going to go away from paper. I've seen that in my dreams, which I can't wait because what do we really get in the mail now? I mean, a couple bills, a couple letters. Most of the junk mail, you notice it stopped. Most of the junk mail was from foreign countries. We just didn't know it because it had one of those postage stamps on it that you don't even know and you don't even care because you're so sick of getting junk mail. So there's been a lot of things halted that we may not have noticed and we really need to pay attention to. Um, Trying to think of what else that was that. So yeah, this is the third solar eclipse, and the sun's gonna flash. That's what it is, and it could cause fires and all kinds of stuff. So there's gonna be a lot of um, interesting things, and we really, I've seen the same thing as what everybody's saying in the spiritual community, that they come out because they needed to. And I've been on, I don't know, 3 months on YouTube. I never thought I'd ever do this, ever. And I just said, you know what? I've been queuing the card and following that for a while. I'm pretty versed on that. I am been spiritual for a long time, and I would like to uh, make this part and combine with religion, little bits of different things, because there's there's educational learning in everything we see and everything we're supposed to read. And today I experienced some things. We're going to start experiencing things that is not going to be very good. And today I experienced a woman having like a total meltdown. And I told her take three deep breaths, and she took one breath and just started going off again. And there was no stopping her. And it was like she was tormented. Uh, she was just, it was unreal. I mean, she was even yelling. I was washing my blankets today at the laundromat. She was even yelling at the washer. And one woman said, "Is she talking on the phone?" I said, "No, she's yelling at the washer." So it was really, really sad, actually. And I felt I'm not going to reach out to her because she's going to have to learn how to love herself. And I know that a lot of people right now are going through a dark night of the soul, and it's not going to be good, but it's something you really need to go through. Uh, let's see. I think that is all. The eclipse is going to be the complete completes the message. Yeah, and we did get, let's see, I wrote that down. The sevens, when we got 7 2s, and that would be 7 years. That would be 7 years, the three eclipses, which would be it started in 2017, 2023, and 2024. So that's the three eclipses. And those are the three dates, and seven is 7 years. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff going to go on. Okay, now I think that's everything I really wanted to say. A lot of people are afraid of readings. And you mentioned tarot and they freak out because, there's a church around every corner. And they say that this is bad and this is, and I was talking to a gal today and she was real nice. And she was kind of scared of it. And I said, I don't really use tarot a lot because I don't prefer the devil card and things like that. I think they could leave those out. But most of the cards are characters. I mean, you watch TV and you see characters on the TV. And your perception of that character, when I read the card, it may be a guy with horns, like a ram, like a fairyland forest type fantasy character. And somebody all of a sudden says it's the devil and it's demonic and it's bad. And then you read the card and they're really good and they're like a nature spirit. We need to get a grip because people are judging and freaking out and being scared, and that's just ridiculous. We need to open people's eyes on the beautiful part of spirituality and not the ugly part because they've made it ugly for us, especially. So that's all that I need to say, but we really need to think about it. And if you're walking through the dark night of the soul, you need to walk through the dark night of the soul. I mean, don't fight it. Don't be like dragging and playing the victim all the time. It's hard. Life is hard. Everything we do is hard. We've got to go through it, unfortunately. And it's not a fun time. But once you get through the hardest time and you get through the trauma of your childhood, your teenhood, your things that you had to, don't keep visiting it all the time. Okay, it was traumatic. And if it was, you have to work through it. Because Dark Night of the Souls is really a tough time. I was like 3 months going really deep and it really hurt and it was rough. But I did it. And now it's like great. And like I was talking to the girl today, and I said, I really love myself. Not ego trip, but I just love all my flaws and my imperfections and just me. She goes, you can tell. So that made me feel good because it's like when I walk around, I try to smile and compliment people. I seen another like gal that came in and she was beautiful. She was dressed real nice and said, "Oh, you look great. You look happy." And she loved that. So start being nice to people. It doesn't cost anything. Another thing, before we start doing cards, I've been telling everybody to hit the like button, the magic manifestation button. And when you do, think of something small you want to play with your inner child and try to manifest. I always say like an old friend, that you haven't heard from in a long time calls, or you need $20 for gas by like next Friday, or something small. But see if you can manifest it because we need to really work on our manifestation and ourself because we need to get ready for what is going to transpire. Now, we are going to get into the cards now that I was rambling Rose tonight. And I hope everybody's doing good. It's still cold in northern Florida. We had a nice day, but I've been asking people out. You guys notice the sky? And they're like, yeah. You notice it's always cloudy and it's kind of gray, clammy looking. And if it is blue, it kind of almost looks imitation. And they're like, yeah. I don't know what they're up to up there, but half the time I just ignore it because the sky doesn't even really look real, and the sun you can't even look at. I got to take pictures of it uh, just by pointing my camera at it because you'll be blinded for a while. It'll hurt. Now, uh, let me go back to the stuff we're looking at. Um, Now we are coming to the end of a cycle. We are going through the shift. The shift will end the false matrix. So that's going to be the part that people are going to really have a hard time if they're kicking and screaming that they don't want to change and they want to stay in their comfy place and they just love it here because really I've seen people, they're not loving it there. There's no way. It's just caca. We're going to a very clean, beautiful world. I've seen it. And I keep saying it. I don't care if anybody doesn't believe me in it. I've seen it and I know where we're going. Either that or I'm going somewhere else. I don't know. We got the maiden, and it's a number two. We've been talking about twos. And, before we go on, I want to read it. Now, today is 2/22 of 2024, which is a 14, which goes down to a 5. And the last card that I pulled, let's see, was a 5. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 5s. So I'm going to read the meaning of the number 5. I've been starting out with that, and I think that's a good idea because numbers are all through the Bible. They're all through our life. Numbers really have a lot to do with everything. Number 5 tells you that you have a deep connection with the divine source and that nothing can prevent wisdom from finding its way to you. Your current priorities are fidelity, reliability, and loyalty. Focus on them and concentrate on healing them in both the world outside and your inner world. Number 5 brings protection, giving you the freedom to act more boldly. Its energy field is centering, bringing the strength that always recognizes and recreates itself at the end of a soul path, along with meditation, belief, and insight at the end of a soul path. Yes, we are going to evolve and we really don't know what's going to happen, but it will be good. Now, we also got, like I said, 7 2. So I'm going to read the number 2. Number 2 reveals that you are not alone with the issues on the card that you have drawn. Look for support from someone who will work through the issues with you, such as a friend or a teacher in the outside world. Our harmonious environment and good advice from a wise heart are more crucial than ever for you now. Ensure that all forms of communication are calm and peaceful, even with yourself. Number 2 teaches that you need an opposite, another person, in order to help you to become self-aware and to grow. Its energy field promotes self-awareness, groundedness, stability, and reflection. And that's interesting. We got the reflection card yesterday, and we do need, the dark night of the soul is all about going back and reflecting on on what things happen in your world, in your life, and how you perceived it then and how you perceive it now. Because as you grow up, your perception is so much different than what it was when you were younger. So you need to revisit all that and release it with love and go on with it. Not saying that something traumatic happened in your life, say by some person, and you release the contract, break the contract, release it with love. You're done with it. You don't want to be around them. It's not that you forgave them, what they did and made it okay. You released them from your mind so it's not binded to you, because you could keep yourself in prison for the rest of your life thinking about what happened to you, and the other person doesn't even care and doesn't even think about it, but you're reliving it and reliving it and reliving it. Not a good place to be. So, the maiden, a number two. And she has a beautiful butterfly up here near her hand. She's got uh, roses around. Her hair is beautiful. She's got roses and she's following a path and she's looking down at a white rabbit. Follow the white rabbit. Follow your dreams, discover your passions, focus on self discovery, address self imposed limits and restrictions, increase independence, seek your own answers, release feelings of fear and abandonment, craving attention, needing rescued, express goals and desires, be true to self, and acting with empathy. Um, I'm going to say something else. We all need to take charge of our life. The outside world, the 3D matrix, is very, very, very corrupt. And we need to follow the creator's law, universal laws. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not harm. And live with that. That's it. That's our rules. So if you're going out harming people or speeding down the highway and you could harm people or that's common sense. So if you don't have common sense, you need to go back to common sense school and think about what you're doing. I mean, we have lost common sense in this country. I keep saying that. You talk to people and it's just decisions that in when I was young, I had no common sense, but we really need to think about this and get a different perception on this because common sense will save us a lot of heartache in the long run. The maiden walks an unfamiliar path, but does so with confidence and grace. She has been taught by those around her that it is not selfish or conceited to follow her dreams and actively work to manifest her goals and desires. She does so without needing permission from anyone. Much like her male counterpart, the youth and modern maiden is not afraid to ask questions, challenge the answers, and be the adventurous explorer. But while the youth explores new horizons, the maiden explores herself. The maiden is equally interested in first discovering and then nurturing her interests and increasing her self-knowledge and exploring her waking sexuality. She forms relationships with healthy boundaries and expresses her sexuality with innocence, pride, and confidence. When she chooses to take a lover for the first time, it will be done without shame or fear of judgment. If she chooses to remain alone, it is not because she believes herself to be undesirable, but because she does not believe that she needs a lover in order to be happy or fulfilled. You know, I was thinking about that today because the woman that was freaking out when I pulled in, she was on the phone, and obviously it was either her husband or her whatever partner. She was screaming at him. I mean, she was literally uh, accusing him of someone stretching her clothes out, and it was the other woman's hair, and just it was really bad. And this woman screamed the whole time. She was at the laundromat, which was probably about an hour, talking to not only on the phone, but the washer, the dryer. And she was just like, I put up with it. And I'm thinking, wow, you put up with that because you don't love yourself, because you need his approval or your world is done. And you are just crying and screaming and nobody can help you. You're blocked. You're I don't know. You can't help somebody like that. And that is really sad because once I started loving myself, I don't need anybody else's approval. I don't need anybody to love me for me. I love me for me because I am unique in my own way. uh, everybody is unique in their own way. So the maiden, she's true. She's exploring her horizons, and she forms healthy boundaries. And we've been getting the boundary cards too, because we do need healthy boundaries. That's a must in our life. It will be done without, yeah, fear and judgment. We shouldn't be judging anybody, really. The maiden card is one of youthful confidence, empowerment, and increasing independence. She is fertile, but uses that fertile nature to create, express, and explore. She is on a journey of self-discovery. Focus on learning more about who she is and what makes her happy, and she knows that her explorations in the present will give rise to a future self who knows what she wants from life and is not afraid to make it happen. In the past, the maiden was expected to do as she was told and be true to the expectations of family and society. In the present, the maiden chooses to begin the journey toward self-awareness and empowerment. Yeah, uh, I was gonna say that too. And when we got this card, and as I was reading it, I was thinking about that. They said that I was watching Sasha Stone, and he said that he went to the Hopi Indians in the Arizona, and the Hopi Indians are going to have the grandmothers come back because we have lost the mothers and the grandmothers in this world, and we have, if you look at it. Uh, so I can't wait till that happens. The mothers and the grandmothers. We used to call my grandmothers the three bears. We loved them to death. Okay, now we have the Five of Swords, and that's conflict. Stand your ground. You don't need to respond aggressively, but do be assertive rather than retreat. An argument or other conflicts leaves you battle worn and feeling small. This may be because someone you trusted has been cruel, unkind, or even devious, wounding your friendship, business, relationship, or romance out of jealousy or need for power. This card can also reveal communication problems in family, hurtful opposition, or being unfairly overruled and ignored. On a more positive note, the situation is now out in the open. Yeah, we don't need to get into any conflict. I'm working on my trigger moments, and I suggest everybody work on their trigger moments. If something triggers you, learn how to deal with it. What I do is I take deep breaths, I walk away, I lay down for 20 minutes. Like today, that woman freaking out. People were just kind of letting it go and not really worried about it. And I think that's where we need to go. Um, it's not worth it to get involved in that head trauma. That's scary. Okay, now we have the Four of Fire, and we had this a few days ago, and this is action, concentration, focus, energy. Focus mind, emotion, and deliberate action. Create impetus and momentum. Establish a good work ethic. Establish a creative process. Devote time to regular practice. Be willing and prepared. Pay your dues. Something is falling short of its target. When the Four of Fire appears, it symbolizes a warning that something may be falling short of its target. Despite all caution and care, something may be about to go awry and not as planned. You may or may not be able to determine the cause, but just in case, it is time for scrutiny and double checking. Maybe a little adjustment here and there, get things heading in the right direction once more. Now is not the time for complacency. Be vigilant and prepare to act if needed. We got the vigilant card the other day. I think we need to be prepared for anything at this point in this venture. I know that a lot of the spiritual people are coming out right now because they are getting channeled messages and getting things going on, and they're seeing it in the cards. And we need to listen to a lot of that because we need to take it with a grain of salt, but we also need to pay attention because we got the Two of Swords with this one, and that's crossroads. Look again, take a fresh angle. Any action or decision is better than none. This is a great opportunity for a breakthrough in your thinking. You are at a crossroads and there is a decision to be made. The two crossed swords signify tension and indecision, locked in conflict. Neither can win, and their power appears to be equal. This situation may or may not be of your making. Your perspective is blocked, and there's an obvious clue that you are not seeing. This is the clarifier. This is telling you, and this one's be precise, and this one's an action card, and he's focusing. He or her, they're focusing, and they've got the eye up here. This one's saying you're not seeing something, so be more focused. Okay, now the Dreams of Gaia is the one I use, and the clarifier is the Oceanic Tarot. I don't know if I said that, but I'm trying to remember. Now, the last card we got was the Four of Water. You are beautiful. Be aware of weaknesses, but focus on strengths. Mistake an opportunity to learn. Let go of the idea of perfection. Love yourself for who you are. Happiness at another's expense, the emotional cost of your actions. This is a confidence and aware. And if you look at him, he's looking at the two faces with a third eye over it. And we really need to start using our third eye intuition and open that up and practice with that too. He only has one eye. So he is seeing out of one eye. So he's only looking at the beauty. The Four of Water stands before you with quiet, quiet confidence and awareness. Despite his scared appearance, he sees only beauty when he looks at his reflection. A gentle smile curves his lips as he regards himself with kindness and understanding. He has many weaknesses and during his lifetime has made many mistakes, and yet he chooses to see the lessons he has learned and forgive himself instead of holding on to feelings of shame, regret, and guilt. Every scar makes him more beautiful, and every mistake presents him the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become wiser. Like all of us, he has many strengths to balance out his weaknesses, and it is these strengths on which he chooses to focus. He believes he is deserving of both love and happiness. And even when life offers an experience that scars, he refuses to allow hurt or disappointment to erode his self belief or close his heart. This does not mean that he is blind to his flaws. Rather, he accepts them for what they are, parts of a whole that is imperfect and perfect at the same time. The Four of Water arrives in your reading to ask whether you look at yourself with less love than you should. Do you see only your flaws and imperfections and feel as if you should apologize for having them? Instead, seeing them as something that gives you depth and character. Those flaws and scars and imperfections are aspects of your nature that make you truly beautiful. You should shine like the sun if you would accept them and forgive them and allow them to simply be a part of you, who you are. It is time to let go of the idea that to be perfect is to be without flaw. Stop looking for perfect relationship, the perfect idea or creation, the perfect career, or Okay, my dog's seen their shadow and barked at it. Okay, where was I? Release the perfection is a paradoxical state that exists only when there is per, peaceful acceptance and unconditional love for those scars, weaknesses, and flaws. Perfect is only achieved in seeing, accepting, and loving the flaws, knowing that they are an undeniable, necessary part of the beautiful, magical whole. The Four of Water comes to ask that you release any feelings of inadequacy or discomfort. You are in this moment everything you are meant to be, and so much more. Love yourself without conditions. I love that beautiful, magical whole. And we should feel like that. And when we feel like that, it will radiate on the outside and the inside. As I was driving to the laundromat today, I turned off the radio for a while and I was just talking to father and mother and telling them how grateful I am for everything that they have done for me. And I can't thank them enough. We have to show gratitude. Now is not the time to be shy with your gratitude. Okay, now what we have is the Four of Wands, the reward. When you've achieved a goal, such as finding a new home, completing a project, or passing. Okay, when you've achieved a goal such as finding a new home, completing a project, or passing a test, it's time for rewards. Holidays, socializing, love, and trips away all feature future in this happy four, which brings you leisure, fun, and freedom. It's also time to get back in touch with your inner child and celebrate the joy of life. As you find contentment within, you'll sense the closeness of your spirit guides. An additional meaning is reflecting on happy memories. Be carefree while you can and replenish your mind, body, and soul. You deserve it. And I kind of wanted more. What kind of reward? I like to extend the story a little bit because we did get a different card. So I'm like, I'm gonna take it because that is the Angel of Ocean, and it is a number 14, which is another five, and that's healing. The mermaid is the ocean, but her in the ocean, but her lilac wings reveal she is also an angel of heaven. She lives in the water, but breathes air. The infinite symbol, the figure eight, flows around her, showing that her purpose is or to harmonize the emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual aspects of life. Holding a cup firmly in each hand, she symbolizes strength and balance. This is the card of the healer, negotiator, manager, or parent who must soothe the tempest of demands to keep the peace. To do this, you may need the patience of a saint or an angel to support you. The angel of the ocean asks you to look to your spiritual side, to see the lessons your situation offers, rather than become overwhelmed by others' emotions or stressed out by complaints or needs. An additional meaning is healing past trauma, balancing mind and body, or balancing your finances. So budgeting and financial planning may take priority now. Also, the angel of ocean can be a sign of angelic guidance. Now that your angels are here to protect you through this demanding time, you'll need to work a little magic now to reconcile opposites. Be patient and compassionate, and you will get everything done. Yeah, patience is something that me and my husband are both working on because I think patience is really hard for a lot of people, and I know it's hard for me. Him too. He agrees. He admits it too. I think everybody should work on patience because I think patience is the biggest trigger we all have. Nobody wants to wait in line. Nobody wants to wait anywhere. No, everybody's in a hurry, and we're all like, come on. So the next one we got was the practical magic. And we got 22, honor your grief, my lost love. So, losing a loved one or a part of yourself or your future will fundamentally change you, but eventually there will be healing, rebirth, and hope for a way forward. Grief is heartbreaking and all consuming. It can feel as though it will choke you, drown you, or burn you to the ashes. The sorrow is intense, personal, and can seem as though it will never end. Grief never ends, but it will change. Over time, it will become a place where you go, but can return from. You don't get over the pain of grief, and you probably don't want to, but you can grow a new life, a new self around what is left, around the loss. Grief is the price of deep and immense love. And so the anguish is worth it because it shows just how strong and precious the love was, how deeply you loved and were loved. And the memory of that love will help you to survive the pain of its loss. The raw and jagged wound of grief will start to heal with time, but the scars will remain. And that's a good thing. They are a badge of belonging and honor of what you felt and did and become. Your loss will be a part of who you are. And so the person you lost will always be with you. Oh, I love that. That is really good. When you draw this card, it's a message to be aware, something you are grieving. Perhaps it's the anniversary of the death of someone close to you, or their loss is hitting you particularly hard today. Maybe a relationship has ended, or you've realized that something you desperately wanted will never come to pass. An opportunity may be lost, or faith in something or someone may have been destroyed. This card is also a gentle reminder to reach out to others when you are suffering loss, change, pain, or loneliness. There are people who want to help you, but many don't know what to say or how to approach you. Tell them what you need, ask for support, suggest some practical ways that can contribute. Allow them to share your burden. Lean on them and offer your own compassion to others. It can be difficult to know how to act around someone who's grieving. Some people withdraw altogether because they feel inadequate, or are some people scared they'll say or do the wrong thing. But disappearing in the face of someone's pain and doing nothing is worse than any clumsy effort. If you're not sure what to do around someone who's suffering, reach out to them and ask. Sometimes just having someone to sit with in silence is enough. Just be rather than do. Um, yeah, we are going to go through a lot of loss, I think, and people are going to go through a lot of sadness. So we have the Soul Helper Oracle, and that is a number 35. It's follow your vision, never lose sight of what is really important. And it's two wolves. The wisdom of the wolf is to adapt to life's circumstances without losing sight of what is important or straying from the path of their own vision. Trust your instinct, your inner strength and guidance. Safeguard your vision by establishing clear boundaries. Arise defending your territory and never giving others the power to unsettle you. Trust your intuition and never let anyone take that away from you. You have drawn this card because your forebears, your ancestors are calling to you. It is time to rediscover your visions. Shamans and druids once wore the skin of the wolf as a sign of their great spiritual power, leadership, and inner strength. This mission to follow your vision with inner strength now falls to you in order for you to achieve truly great things. You will need courage for the path ahead, and you will be granted a higher perception. Meditate upon it and open yourself to a light flowing toward you. You have the ability within you to expand your perception for the benefit of all living beings. Your helpers for the next 21 days is the power animals, the wolf, the herbal essences, oil is cypress, the healing crystal is emerald, and the number is 8. Okay. Number 8 tells you that now is the time for harmony, calm, and a place of retreat. You have been given the gift of a light that opens your mind and delivers the strength to create something that will last for all time. Should you want to do so, number 8's energy field opens up eternity for you. It is renewal, paradise, spirituality, calm, mindfulness, and the completion of transformation. I like that idea. Transformation is great because we're all going to be going through it. So we got the Messenger Oracle. Okay, we got the Messenger Oracle. Had to let my doggies out. Be without malice. You have been hurt, disrespected, or disappointed by others. Another has let you down or betrayed you. It is normal and natural to experience feelings of anger, hurt, and disappointment. To feel any and all emotion is natural, but you have a choice always in how you respond. Do not allow your hurt to become a source of infection. Acknowledge it, learn from it and your experiences, and then let the anger, hurt, and disappointment go. Do not allow them to inspire retaliation, acts born of malice or spite. Yeah, because you know what? We all get karma back. So I would not be putting anything out that you didn't want to get back. Do unto others as you would want others to do unto you. We also got focus and then act. And she's awesome. She's looking up. She's got a black horse. Her sword is lit up. I mean, the energy in the sword, and she's got a mask on. She looks like she is. Oh, and she's got a raven. There's the raven again right here. So there is something you want or need to make manifest. But to make your dreams a reality, you must focus your will upon that desire and do what needs to be done. Prayer alone will not give you that which you desire. There are things that you must do in order to have your hopes realized. Now is not the time for stillness or passivity. Now is the time to focus your will, your thoughts and emotions, and to get up and take the necessary steps. Well, focus kind of looks like this, doesn't it? This was the Four of Fire, and it said focus your attention. So she, look at this. This one has an arrow and it's on fire. And this one has a sword with a black horse and a raven, and the energy is coming out of that sword like she is a warrior from, and the moon behind her, the full moon. And this one has the full sun. That's pretty cool. Okay. So we do need to take the necessary steps to manifest. So that's why I've been telling everybody to come in and try to play with their inner child and play with the manifestation. The next card we got is Have Courage, because we are going to need courage in the days to come. And this is a beautiful card. There are times when you feel small, afraid, and alone in the world, but you are not alone. You are watched over and cherished by Gaia and Great Spirit. Know that you have within you the strength to overcome all obstacles placed in your path, no matter how daunting or large they may seem. You have courage. Now is the time to trust in yourself and have confidence that you will overcome all. Yeah, we're going to overcome this. I mean, it's a bump in the road. It's a speed bump, and we can't go barreling down the raceway of Spiritville. We just stay in our own lane. So we have the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, and we got a couple pretty good cards out of here. We got the Animal Guardian, trust in your instincts. Trust the powerful animal spirit within to learn more about yourself and your talents. The animal guardian is the card that represents the angels of the animal kingdom. Animals are angels of nature who have incredible lessons to offer and medicine that can support you on your spiritual journey and help you survive some of the greatest challenges. When you connect with the energies of the animals, you can learn a lot about yourself and the earth. You also have instinctive animal energy within you that can direct you towards everything you need and more. The Animal Guardian card depicts a tribal angel being held and supported by her animals. She has a love for them and they have a love for her, demonstrating how incredible connected nature is with the spiritual realm. You have a powerful animal within that can be wild, protective, instinctive, and even calm. Animals don't second guess how they feel, they just express it, and you can learn from that. When this card arises, it's important to connect with how you really feel, how you want to feel, and what you really need. Take the time to connect with your animal energy and express it naturally. Let even the fiercest energy move through you before returning to your natural state. It will teach you a lot about your gifts and how you can grow. Yeah, she's got the wise owl over her head. She's got looks like a raven. She's got a panther, and she's got a baby, a little fawn she's holding in her arms. That's a pretty card. We do need to connect with nature. I love animals and nature. Next thing we got was the traveler, move in a new direction. Welcome any opportunities to travel either to the outer world or the inner worlds. Inspired by the Romanian travelers, this card represents the nomadic spirit within. The opportunities to move in a new direction is coming your way, and ancestral wisdom is encouraging you to welcome it with open arms. Going on a trip is an exciting process because not only do you learn about the world, you also learn about yourself. This card often comes up when you have a chance to go through a process of awakening and understanding even more about the amazing qualities you have to share with the world. Often such journeys can be lonely, but this in itself can teach you that you are never really alone and your angels and ancestors are there for you. The road you are on may be the road less traveled, but this journey is going to be highly beneficial for your emotional and spiritual growth. If it isn't about covering outer distances, it's about covering distance within. And you will be evolving every single moment of it. Remember to keep things simple and to lighten your load because that will make your journey more enjoyable. You are also being encouraged to see how far you've come and how you've really grown as a person, because this recognition will support you in going even further. And there's a good chance that along the way, you'll make new friends who will become companions for the lifetime. Yeah, growing, I've been meeting all kinds of really nice people, and we've been doing some chatting around town, and most of them are women, and it's great because we chit chat about things, and I like it. So we got the hermit, retreat and recharge. Yes, meditate, relax your mind. Take time to rest and recuperate in order to continue your growth. Benefit from the information that will come directly from your heart space. The hermit card is one of the solitude meditation inspired by the wandering men of India known as Sanbas. In the Hindu tradition, it represents your capacity to go within and arrive at the cave of your heart. Many of the answers to your problems lie within, and if you don't take the time to connect with yourself and feel comfortable alone, you won't be able to hear the messages that are arising up inside you. The cross-legged meditation position of the cave dweller Savdu on the card is an invitation to harness the power of your meditation practice. The Hindu Sri Yantra symbolized behind him represents the union of masculine and feminine energies, hence supported from Mother, Father, God. I just said I was talking to Mother, Father today on my journey to the laundromat with the radio off, and I was so grateful for them. And then we get this. And that makes me feel good. Like, this is the message that I've been relaxing, I've been slowing myself down, I've been feeling better, and my heart's not racing as much when I sleep. So that's a plus. I'm changing things about myself that I know I need to. You have been working hard and giving your all to your current situation, and it may become draining and detrimental to your development unless you treat and recharge your energies. So you are being guided to take a step back at this time. If you are working on bringing something together, your over involvement could impede the process. So retreat and breathe. If you have something to say or do that could have a larger impact on your life, spend some time in deep thought, even contemplation. Before moving forward, often when we rush in, we don't see how destructive our actions can be. So meditate and listen to your soul's wisdom before proceeding further. People don't meditate enough and listen. I feel that when we're praying, we're talking too much. Now, I did talk to mother and father today in my journey. I could have listened to music, but I chose to talk to them because I have a divine connection that I have given myself permission to have. And we all have permission to have that if we take it. No one else can have my journey. My journey is for me, but people will continue on their journey. Okay, now we have the Gateway of Light activation. And we got Venetian Galactic Council, Star Being Guides, answering the call, and time to shine. Look at that. Wow. The Venetians are advanced cosmic beings similar to angels who come from the planet Venus. They are our starry ancestors and are dedicated to helping us experience the embodiment divine love. There are millions of them, and many of us will have them working with us as guides. If you feel drawn to this information or strongly connected to the stars or star people, there's a good chance that there are many extraterrestrial beings around you at this time, many of whom will be connected to the Venetian Galactic Council. Governed by Lady Venus and Sanat Kamara, the Venetian Galactic Council is a divine board of directors who are responsible for recruiting light workers and leaders on Earth who have the potential to make a huge difference by following the call of their soul. When they come to us, it's an honor and an opportunity to be reminded of a connection that was active before we came into this incarnation. There's no set way of working with the Venetians, but they will contact us in dreams or meditation to share information that will support us on our journey. They often send spiritual downloads in thought forms or understandings. Dreams about flying or being in space are other ways in which they will come through to us. On a break, let's see. I have had so many dreams about flying. This is a call to action. Here's that action again. We've had 2 action cards. You are being asked to step up and create the changes you want to see in the world. You have a reason for being here, and you have the potential to inspire, support, and heal your corner of the world. Don't let this information scare you or overwhelm you, for you are being prepared energetically to step into this role. The ideas you have been having recently are divine downloads, but you aren't being called to make dramatic changes to your life, simply to move forward step by step. The Venetian Galactic Council will reveal more information to support you. Be aware of downloads or information and spiritual signs, for they are confirmation that you are on the right path. Perfect message for us. Now, we've got the Divine Master, and this is Hanuman, and we got Hanuman a while back. It's a devoted warrior. Let God's love hold you in strength. Now, when we look at these cards, we have to remember their characters. Hanuman is the Hindu warrior, teacher, and divine companion and protector of teacher Rama, the son of the winged teacher Vayu. He is loved by many not only because of his form, but also because his sheer dedication to Rama is inspirational to all spiritual devotees. Hamana is one of the main characters in the Hindu epic, the Ramayan. The story goes that after a great war, there was a process, and Rama and his wife Sita honored those who had fought for them. When it came to Hanuma, Sita took her favorite pearls off and placed them around his neck. Like a cheeky monkey, Hanuma began to bite them open like nuts and looked inside each one. Startled, Ramana wondered why he would do such a thing. Hamana said, I am looking for you, my lord. I love you and Sita so much. You are all I could ever want. If I were to rip open my heart and show it to you, there you would be. Thereupon he began to rip his chest open, and there, sitting where his heart would be, was an image of Rama and Sita. This is why Hanuma is the Lord of devotion. When you devote yourself to a vision with unwavering faith, you welcome in the support of the universe. Today, the devoted heart of Hanuma is guiding you to reflect on your strengths and talents. You are someone who gives with all your heart, but you find it hard to receive in return. In fact, you give without looking for anything in return, but the universe wants you to make more time, energy, and space to be supported too. Because when you open up to the possibilities of being supported and nourished, you allow yourself to be replenished, and thus you have more to give. You are being honored today for your commitment to what is important to you. The universe sees you as vital to healing and expansion. But in order to keep going with your mission, let your heart be served in return. A true warrior's shield is the love of God. I love that card. That was great. Okay, we have one more, and this is the Human Spirit Oracle. Love this deck. I love the card that we got. It's great. It's going to make us laugh. Okay. We got duck. We got a number 33, ducks in a row. Looks like he's feeling ducky. You quack me up. No, seriously. Look at your duckies, just making a mess everywhere. Take time to get your life in order by getting organized and putting all your ducks in a row. They can't make it a point to avoid chaos, clutter, and mishaps, as this will help you feel clarity. So prioritize declutter, get it together. Funny enough, when you are organized, it leaves room for more ducks. So much chaos and unorganized life could lead to frenzy and anxiety, leaving you overwhelmed and feeling helpless. We assure you that once you start lining up your duckies, everything will begin to fall into place much easier. Maybe start with the smaller responsibilities and obligations and then work your way up. Oh boy. When Lucky delivers us duck eggs, we always call them Lucky Ducky eggs. All right, everybody, I am done for the night. It's 2:27, so we have had a lot of information for today. And remember to hit that magic manifestation likey button and make your wish and come in the comments. I read all the comments and let us know if you manifested what you manifested, how long it took you, and did you have fun with it? Just have fun, play. And we need to balance out our masculine, feminine, and play with our inner child. So that's the homework for the week. All right, I'm going to go. I will see you tomorrow. It'll be Freedom Friday when I see you again. So I love everybody, and may every step in your journey be magical. And you know what? Just be you.